Welcome to Blade HQ, everybody. Today is September 11th, 2023, and I'd like to apologize in advance. It is a pretty bougie week here at Blade HQ. Let's talk new knives. First knife on the table, new from Riot, is this T1000, and this might be the most titanium I have ever seen on a knife. So this thing comes in at 10.8 ounces, so we're very much nearing that 1 pound mark. And it has a CPM 3V blade that's nice and thick, and one of the most interesting mechanisms. So I don't know if you can see this right here. We'll see if we can catch it in B-roll. But there are some pins holding the blade closed and open, and you slide this little lever forward, and it shoots those buttons out like that. And that allows the flipper to actuate and gain access to that great big 3V blade with that beautiful compound grind. Gives you 3.7 inches on the blade, 9 inches overall, and that same lock right there comes down. There's a lot of folding knives out there that try to get a lot of strength out of putting a pin through the handle and the tang. But the problem with those is you have to carry a pin around and you have to mount it on the blade somehow, and it becomes a whole thing. But Riate here has managed to put that pin integral into the handle. So you just hit that and it pops out, ready to run, ready to close. But you just push those two buttons down and this thing is rock solid, not going anywhere. The lock will not let it go. Very, very cool knife. Very big knife, very heavy knife. Definitely sort of the folding survival style of knife. Very interesting indeed. These are going for $547, which for that much titanium, you kind of can't blame it. That's a lot of tie. So much. I don't think I've ever seen more on a knife, and I don't know that I ever will see more on a knife again. But a very cool knife nonetheless. It speaks to me. I like the big stuff. Next up, new from Knives, we have the Zonda. And this one I especially enjoy. This one's got a 20 CV blade like a lot of the Wii's do. And this handle is what's really got me going. It has, it's a titanium handle, and this one's got the flame titanium inlays. But do you see any like pivot hardware? Well, you do see pivot hardware. Do you see any like holding the knife together hardware? Spacer hardware? That's what we'll call it today. Did you see any spacer hardware there or on the other side? No, it's because this one screw on the back is what's holding it all together, which is a very interesting touch. And then the stop pin is mounted on the blade and it travels along this track along the inside, giving you a very nice clean appearance and a rock solid lockup as well. This has a 4-inch blade, 8.9 inches overall, so a very long and slicey sort of thing. I think this is a very gentlemanly picnic knife. Like, I don't know, you're going to a wedding or something and it's outdoors, it's in a fancy garden and they'll be serving fruit. I'd bring my Zonda along. I think it's the perfect luxurious fruit knife. Very, very nice. These are going for $399.50. Very, very nice work knives. Next up, new from Olamic. We have a whole lot of new stuff. I grabbed this Wayfarer because I really like the Wayfarer model. These are custom level USA made knives. And they tend to be a bit spendy, but they are investment quality pieces, heirloom quality, I might say. And this one goes for $695, and this one has this very interesting textured drilled pattern here on the handle. What I love is they've like bead blasted the handle, and then they came in and drilled these holes. So that way you get these really bright, shiny rings in the rest of the matte handle. Reduces the weight quite a bit, and I think it lends well. The shiny of the rings matches the blade, matches the backspacer, matches the hardware. It all just pops together just right. And then what I think is most interesting is this thumb stud. So you can't use the flipper if you like, and I believe you can fully remove the thumb stud, but you can move the thumb stud up along this track to wherever you prefer it. But this thumb stud has this knurled section right here. The knurling here on the thumb stud helps your thumb get a nice grip of the knife, so it's gonna be nice and easy to open without too much trouble. Or you can just run the flipper like I probably would do on this one. I really do like the flippers on these Olamics. Very high quality knives. These ones we see from time to time. They tend to go fairly quickly though. So if you have your eye on an Olamic, I would recommend working quickly and smoothly to get one at Blade HQ before they are gone for a good long while. Next up, new from Benchmade. In fact, the cheapest knife on the table today, we have the Mini Freak. And this one is a lot like my absolute all-time, bar none favorite Benchmade, which is the Freak. Except it's the Super Freak, I suppose. Back in the day, there was the Freak, which had like a injection molded handle with a rubberized inlay and an S30V blade. Then the Super Freak came out which was this, but the bigger version. And this one has the M4 blade, the G10 handle with the red liners and the red barrel spacers, and I really appreciate it. And they also, we called the Super Mini Freak back in the day, had a carbon fiber handle and an S90V blade, but now they're releasing this one in the mini size, and they're releasing the S90V carbon fiber one in the full size. So it's gonna be a full Freak family. I'm so excited. These are going for $243, and I am so excited because it's just such a great size. 3 inches on the blade, 7 inches overall. It is the perfect everyday carry size of a knife, and it is built tough, just like the other one. And I've beat the tar out of my Freak. I've batoned with it, I've scraped ferro rods, I've pried staples, I have done all kinds of stuff, and now knowing that I can get that same level of build, that same level of material quality, and everything I love about it, but now in this size, I just gotta get one. They're so good. Benchmade, keep up the good work. And then last on the table, we have a new brand for us from Franken Forge, and this is the Voltaic. And this is their super high-end custom butterfly knife. Goes in for $550. S35 VN on the blade, a titanium handle with a bunch of different anodizing finishes that you can get. 4.3 inches on the blade, 9.8 inches overall. And I kept the box up here because this has a very interesting feature. I'm not exactly sure how, and I'm not about to take somebody's very nice knife apart and find out, but you can see these little brass nuggets here. Those brass nuggets are weights that you can tune the knife to however you like to flip. If you like a really heavy thing for full momentum, whatever craziness you're up to, if you like a very light knife, you can tune this knife to be however you like it. And I would wager that there's pockets inside over here, and that's where the weights sit. So that way you're not looking at weights, you're not gonna rattle them out. They are screwed into place, and my goodness. So smooth, such a good sound. I'm not gonna try anything fancy because this knife is worth more than my car. Maybe. I don't know, inflation, cars are getting pretty expensive these days. I don't know. Definitely all the knives on the table here are worth more than my car combined. What a week of knives. Hopefully next time we'll have some more budget-friendly options for you. But thank you all for joining us. Those are some new knives for the week. We hope you've enjoyed. Check out bladehq.com to see a whole lot more knives, and we'll see you next time.